What I want to do first is to have us answer this question, which is, what's your best time of day to create? And this is a way that we can get to know each other, and feel comfortable with each other. What's your best time of day to create? And think about a song that you like that talks about that time of day. I know there's a lot of songs that talk about the night. So I'll start off and just say that my best time of day to create is in the morning. I'm a morning person. And a song that talks about the morning is Morning Has Broken. Um, Cat Stevens, Yusuf has a lovely version, the best version, I think, of that. Morning Has Broken song. I love it. I love the arrangement, the piano arrangement of that. So, who else wants to share? Songwriting prompts. So if you're interested and you want to try your hand at writing something, that's one of the things you could do. Starry Night, of course, is not necessarily about the night, but it has night in it and it's very evocative of the night and those kind of the night season. So now that we're warmed up and we're kind of getting to know each other, I'm not going to do like a round table with names or anything, but you'll get to know each other as we go along. And I want to share first this version of Starry Night with lyrics with Don McLean singing when he was young. Okay, that was a song, and I want to talk a bit about, some of the elements of the song as I was looking at it for myself, some of the important things in it, things that make a song really good and important and great and long lasting. This song, of course, is about a painter and it's about a particular painting. Painted a number of these paintings of the view outside his window when he was at the sanitarium. And so this is one of the night views, and this is his style to draw and paint, very raw kind of colors and swirls of color, circles of color. And the visual cues in the song are many and varied. There are like 6 different colors mentioned and lots of words that relate to color, like the word hue and even the word shadows and other words that have to do with painting action words like what word do we have in there? Soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. And so the song is really full of those words. You can use any words when you're writing a song, but like a good poem, it's good to have words that all connect and relate to the theme that you're talking about. So that's a core element that we can look at if we're looking at how to write a song. Another thing is the intensity of some of those words. Um, he doesn't shy away from really intense words. Bloody rose, crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Lots of other words. The personal touch. He's what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity. So he's not talking about Vincent in a kind of third person way. He's talking to Vincent personally and also talking to the listener, to the audience. So first of all, my view overall of Don McLean's Vincent is that it can be seen as a commentary on the human soul and on the way the artists communicate with the world. So where I have words outlined in green with a green background, that those are visual words, and then there's oral words in blue, action phrases in gray. So so we have Starry Night, paint your palette blue and gray. There we have some alliteration. Paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. So it's contrasting words here. It's a summer's day, but there's darkness in the soul. Then at the end, now he says, "No, I think I know." First he says, "No, I understand," right? That's how the chorus goes. "Now I understand what you tried to say to me." And it's very easy to think that you understand something because you understand it in a kind of intellectual way. But I find it interesting that at the very end, he changes the lyric and says, not no, I understand, but no, I think. There's a humility there. I think I know. And to me, knowing is a deeper kind of understanding than intellectual understanding. So I think that could have been what Don was trying to say. That no, only after all of this, he thinks he knows what Van Gogh tried to say. How he suffered for his sanity, how you tried to set them free, and they did not listen. They're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. And from long time when I used to love this song and sing this song, I was like, why does it end like that? Perhaps they never will. That's so hopeless, you know? But thinking a bit about it now, I feel like it's a more pragmatic kind of way of thinking. It's a fact of life that not everybody will know you are, of course. Um, but the question is, you have your own agency as an individual. Um, how are you going to now paint your palette, whatever talent it is that you have been given, and how are you going to present that to the world? Are you going to have the courage to do it, even though it may hurt you, even though it may be a thorn that hurts you? There are nuances in the song, the metaphors and the homonyms in particular. I love homonyms, so I have this few songs that have them. A homonym is like a word that sounds the same, but it's two different words. Like morning also is morning, 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 morning fields of amber grain. So although he wrote morn, morning, there's that nuance there of mourning, of sorrowfulness. We look at the music part of it. So this song wasn't only a genius song in terms of lyrics, also in terms of how the chord structure moves and how it was put together. It's written in the key of G major. Those of us who are musicians know G major has what? One sharp, F sharp. So the chord progression is very simple in the verse. Now, you might know that the three most common chords in music, in folk music and in pop music, is the one chord, the four chord, and the five chord, right? And so there are a lot of chords, a lot of songs that are built on just those three chords, one, four, and five. So we have here a progression which is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, which is the seventh chord, and 1 again. So it's 1 and then 2. Now the 2 chord in the diatonic scale, and if you guys want to learn about this some more, I can teach you about it, is a minor chord. So when you have a song and it's sad and you want to create that sad feeling in the music, you use minor chords. So he used 1, then 2, then 4, then 5, 7. And 5, 7 is a kind of very full, and it's a chord that really wants to move towards home chord, which is the 1 chord. So it comes back to 1. So it starts out with the G major, and then as I said, the A minor is the second chord in that scale. So it's G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Those of us who can count the scale. And then it moves to C chord, the 4 chord, and then it goes to D7 before resolving to the 1 chord on soul. So it comes back to soul, and that is so beautiful, so perfect that the word that he used for that 1 chord is the soul. Okay. Goes on, shadows on the hills, that's the G. Sketchy trees and the daffodils. The daffodils there are the minor chord. um, Catch the breeze and the winter chills, and that's when you go to the C. That's a 4 chord, and then colors on the snowy linen land. So colors on the snowy linen is that D7, the 5 chord. And we go back to the land. So I made it with the colors there so you can try and track it as it goes. So the light blue is the 1 chord, the purple is the 2 chord, the green is the 4 chord, and the dark blue is the 5 chord, the 5/7 in particular. Okay, so now we've had a kind of slow change of chords here. Use several words with the same chord behind it and the same structure. And then on the chorus, things move a little more quickly. See, we start out on 1, but then we move to 2 earlier on here. Now I understand is the stand is on the 2 chord, which is minor. What you try to say to me, it starts there with the 5/7 on what you try to say to me. And then McLean introduces a new chord, another minor chord, which is the 6 chord, E minor. And in music, uh, there are relationships between scales. G major scale and would have the relative minor of E minor. So that's why he used that one there, because it's like a relative of the scale that he was writing in. Something else that I have here. Let me stop the share because I found this neat little website where you can play chords. So let me share that with you. So this G major, right? And then it moves to the A minor, the 2nd chord. You can hear how sad that sounds. A minor. And I wanted to share with you what the Starry, Starry Night sounded like. That was the minor 6. Listen to that chord. Starry, Starry Night. Definitely tragedy there, that song. So there are various versions, of course. I'm surprised. There are like 100 people have covered this song. Seriously, I didn't realize there were so many. Some very famous people, Josh Groban, for instance. I do not really like his version that much. Um, there's a version that I like, which I have James Blake accompanying himself on piano and playing it. I like that one, and I'm seeing some more things in the chat. Thank you, Gaynor. Lauren says, I love Josh Groban's voice, but this version has that more broken feel. Yeah, I believe it, more fitting than Josh Groban's version of it is more classical and less painful. All right. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing that link to that song. So maybe we can watch it in a little bit. The last thing I want to share is some songwriting prompts. Now, I wanted us, to sort of choose the next song that we look at next month, fourth Saturday of the month, and I was thinking of Billy Joel. So maybe you guys can contact me if you love Billy Joel and there's a Billy Joel song you really want to do. I love his song Longest Time, For the Longest Time. I love that one. So I was thinking of doing that one.